Here we are again. Hello, hello. We're going to talk about the preparations of a presentation. To be specific, how you can learn text the best way so that it sticks. In about 1 month from now, I have a show to do, which, as you know, I'm a singer, and singing and giving presentations has a lot of things in common. So I thought, why wouldn't I just show you how I remember all the texts? I have about 45 minutes of music to sing in a show that lasts 3 times 45 minutes. So I'm doing about 1/3 of the show solo, which means monologue, me talking, me being the only one who presents. That's a lot of numbers to remember. And in a difference from being a presenter versus being a singer is that a presenter has a key card with notes and a singer does not, at least not the type of singer that I am. So I'm doing everything by head. Now, there are several things to say about learning things by head, right? It's not about trying to say it word for word. It is in the singing world, but it's not in the presenter world. But the method that I'm using to learn all that text and to find the flow and all that type of stuff, that method is the same. So I thought, why don't I show you with a number that I don't know, but I need to perform in a month, how I approach to it, how I learn the lyrics, how I remember the structure and all that type of things. So I'm gonna share my screen. I asked that question about, when was it? About a couple of weeks ago, I guess, something like that. And somebody said, yeah, I would like to learn. So I would like to know that. So here we are. So I'm sharing my screen now, and I am hoping that I open the right screen, because now I don't see it. That's cool. That is cool. Well done on preparations on that one. Oh God. Oh God. Where are we? We are on this screen, I think. So I'm sharing my screen right now, and this is the document. Can you see it? What good is sitting alone in your room? That's how it starts. All right. So what do I do? Well, first of all, this is a piece of text. Just it's not even organized. So what I am going to assume is that you already have your presentation ready, and it's segmented, right, in paragraphs, and there is a flow in it. All that stuff I am not covering right now. I'm just covering the learning part, all right? But since this is not paragraph, let me do it. So we're going to do it live right now. So sometimes I just shut up. Because I need to do something. That is here. I had to look this up, right? I don't really know this song. I am familiar with the melody of it, the rhythm of it, the music of it, but I don't know the lines itself. But it should be something like that. There we go. Now, so this is your presentation in the paragraphs, okay? So what do I do? First of all, I'm looking for each paragraph what the keywords are that I can remember this paragraph by. Because the music sounds all alike, so it's sitting alone is probably a keyword. Let's give that a little color. So there you go. Life is a cabaret. I'll come to this part is always returning. I see. Come to the cabaret. Life is a cabaret. I'll come to the cabaret. Right. So this part is returning. So it's bad that these two lines I have to remember. Sitting alone. Come hear the music play. Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. So I probably would try to remember holiday, because that's a switch, right? Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. So I see now someone sitting in a corner and he or she has something in her hand. Put it down. It's time to party. So there's a switch there. You need to look out for those type of things, those type of switches. Can I see now you're going to see how good I am with these type of programs. I'm not. And to go back to the first one, this one is sitting alone versus music, I think. So that would be a keyword. So if I have on a piece of paper sitting alone and music, what good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. That makes sense to me, right? There is again here. There's a different perspective. Here, put down the knitting. That's definitely a word. The book and the broom also. But though they have a double B, you know, there's a rhythm in it. Book and the broom. Knitting, book and a broom. Okay, let me continue. Come taste the wine. Come taste the band. Come blow a horn. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. Oh, interesting. How I'm going to remember that. Probably with wine. So this is how you look at it. This is written in a way that it paints the picture, you know. Come taste the wine. You're sitting at a table. Come hear you hear the band. They're inviting you. That's what I wanted to say. So this is inviting. So come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Blow a horn. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. So this is basically they're trying to, you know, if you have sometimes you go to on a street, you go past by a restaurant and there's a guy there at the door saying, hey, come on in, would you like something to eat, would you like something to drink, you come taste the wine, come join the band, come blow the horn, start celebrating right this way, your table is waiting. You understand what it's trying to do? It's trying to draw you towards, in this case, cabaret. So it's inviting you in. That is what this piece is all about. And that is basically the next step that I wanted to talk about. From each paragraph, what's happening there? I was looking for something that I could draw. Is that this? No. I don't know where it is. Okay. So what good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Music is rich, right? Music is a lot of sound. So this is alone versus a lot. So the emotion or in this part is they're opposites, right? So this is opposite. How would emotion in business talks? You probably have stories in there, right? In every paragraph, a story to support or to contradict, or us versus them stories, you know, all of those types. You probably have them in there. What is the emotion in that particular story that you have? So probably you would want to write down instead of the emotion, but I do now because it's music. you probably want to write down the main keyword and the emotion of the story you're going to tell. So if you write, I have a story that's called Again, and if I do that again, that nagging's out, I would write down again, nagging, and I would know what story to tell, right? You probably want to do something like that too. For each paragraph, put down the knitting, the book and the broom. This is very old fashioned. You know, it still assumes that people have a broom. People probably do, but they used to in the past they did that more, of course. And knitting, some people still do that, but it's a thing your grandma did, right? So here too, it's opposite. And that's good to remember that the first two sentences of this paragraph is opposite towards the third sentence. And those type of things is what you want to find out in your piece of text. If they are there, right? That it's not just blab information, but it's the I did this and it lead to that. That's a cause versus a result. You know, those type of things, or opposite things, us versus them things. Those are the type of things that you want to know up front. So I would recommend that write it down on that piece of paper where you're going to put down the notes, all the keywords and what it is, and the emotions or the stories with it. So celebrating and waiting rhymes, so that won't be a problem to remember. What's good permitting some profit of doom? Well, I don't have to go through the entire piece, but basically this is how you approach that type of text, right? Now, the next thing that I'm looking for, so we got keywords per paragraph, and we got emotions or structural opposites, structural cause and result things that are there that you want to look out for. The stories, of course, and what emotions are in there. And the next thing that I'm looking for are hooks, because in the text that you want to talk about, you have a lot of, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, blah, 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 blah. And what you want to achieve is that the first paragraph leads logically to the next. So what you want to achieve there is why, what's going on? Why is that one leading to the next? And sometimes, not mostly, sometimes there are certain particular words that indicate that. You know, it's like, for instance, you thought that secret one was going to help you, but you are wrong, because secret one is nothing without the secret sauce. You can make a pizza, but if you don't have the secret sauce, it will still not sell. Just an example. So the word sauce. So that's what we're going to talk about in number 2, in secret number 2, the secret sauce. You see, so you make a link from the first paragraph to the next, or from the first secret to the next secret. It's always good to have that type of sentence in there, because it gives your presentation structure, and your audience knows, okay, this is number 1, but we're missing something. Okay, we need to go to number 2. I did that once. Let's see if I can remember what it was about. It was about why sales presentations are not enough for you to be able to give a presentation, while sales courses are not enough for you to be able to just give a presentation flawlessly. And it was about a missing ingredient. So I was explaining in that one why it wasn't working. And basically what it boils down to, that's what I said, is there is missing one component, because all fears of presentation have one root cause. Insecurity, in this case, in the talk that I was doing then. And what will make insecurity go away? Confidence. So secret number 2 was the one missing component, confidence. Do you see? So you have some sort of sentence, some sort of word, could be a word, could be a sentence that links to the next. Now, in music, in this case, these two come together, right? Basically, so this is alone and music. That's one versus rich. So that is one versus rich. And this, put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. I would say this is a family. This is someone who's knitting, perhaps female. The book is, I just paint that picture inside my head. I see a father there with the book and someone else with the broom. So this is not one versus rich. This is many boring versus party. Boring things, knitting, book, and broom. Sorry if I offend you right now. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to make you see what I'm trying to do here, right? So you're looking for, this is one and this is many. So the hook that I'm looking for from one paragraph to another is, in this case, one versus many. And this is about rich party versus one and a rich sound. So that's not a good link, but the one versus the many is. So this, boom, oh, let's give it a beautiful color. There we go. So I would remember this hook. Then all of a sudden you are invited. So this is a totally different boom. Life's cabaret, I'll come to the cabaret. In the music, this has a different type of music. So this is what you need to remember. This is a big one, just that you need to remember yourself, right? So this is opposite, invite. That's how I would remember it in a normal day. I will do a video with a normal presentation and show you how normal presentation. There doesn't exist something like that, but I'll show you that from a business perspective also. But that's how I approach it. So you have keywords, you have emotions, and you have stories, and you're looking for structural things, and you're looking for hooks from one to the next. So, and all those things you write down together with your bullet points, right? With the yellow, like the yellow bullet points for each paragraph. Then the next thing that I do to actually start rehearsing it is I do the wave technique, which means I start with paragraph 1 and I do that over and over and over again. Again, I need to learn it by heart, but you need to, for a business presentation, you need to learn it by keywords, right? Bullet points. So you take your bullet points and you take your structural remark and the context of it, you know, one versus rich in this case, or for what's going on in that piece of text. And then by those things, you learn your wave. Then you learn the second one and you do the wave. You start again and you do 1 + 2. You've done that a couple of times, then you do number 3 on its own, and then you do 1, 2, 3, and then you find out that you either forget 1 or something in 2, or you forgot totally number 3. Fine. As soon as you notice that, pick number 3 separately if it was number. Oh God, what am I doing? Uh-oh. There we go. Then you do this one on its own again, and then you start again. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, etc. So you're waving, you put a wave one after the one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. The reason why I do that is because then I start to get a feeling about flow. And that's where the hooks from one to many and the break here, like inviting, is totally different. That's where those hooks become really important, to remember which part comes after which one. Because what that does is it eliminates the fear that you are forgetting things. Largely. Of course, you always have your key card with your bullet points, right? Or your monitor with your presentation of the bullet points in front of you. But if you have a feeling of the flow of a presentation, then you can do a lot of things. You can time it, and you can, make it exciting. And that's why the emotions, the stories and the emotions, you can really make it some things exciting and some things calm and some things just really teaching and some things meditative and all that type of stuff. But I'm going too fast now. We were talking about learning. So the wave technique, and once you've done that a couple of times and you've gone through the entire thing, what I do then is I make it soundproof. And what does that mean? That means that you take your notepad with the bullet points and you go to an environment where there are a lot of people or where there is sound or noise. For instance, I always do the dishes because, doing dishes, you make a lot of sound yourself. I do not have a dishwasher myself. I'm the old-fashioned part like that. So I make a sound, a noise myself. So when I rehearse a presentation, I do that with the notepad. I will, take a piece of tape, put that in front of me on the wall, and then while I am doing the dishes, I am saying presentation out loud. Not la la la, it doesn't have to go like that. It can be quietly, but that you can do it while you are in a loud environment. And the reason why I do that is because people are not always quiet when you give a presentation. Not always. Some people, start talking to another or look on their phone and the phone goes, and someone gets a call or something. And to prepare yourself for those unexpected noises, that's why I make myself soundproof up front. Just rehearse it in a noisy environment. And you will find out that if you do that and you go on stage and everyone's quiet and listening captivatingly to you, you get an enormous focus. You're not distracted by the silence, but it brings you in a focus and in a flow, which is exactly where you want to be. And if there is a noise, you are not distracted by it, and you don't go from and now I don't know where I am anymore. Stuff like that. So that's the next thing that I do. So I wave. I use the wave technique. I make it soundproof. And the last thing that I do is Italian style. Now, Italian style is fun. First of all, it's really fast. So whatever your presentation is about, let me bring myself back. I can stop sharing. Whatever the presentation is about, I just say it really fast so that you're almost stumbling above your how do you say that, above or stumbling over your own words, right? But you know what you want to say because you have that little booklet with your bullet points, so you know what you're going to say. You're just going to say it really fast. What that does is it means that when you are actually giving the presentation, it's in a much calmer pace. And you don't have the feeling that, like, oh my God, well, how am I doing in time? I need to do this, I need to say that, and then your mind gets so distracted. But if you prepare really fast, that's just what I do. And what I found out to be really helpful, that if I prepare really fast and I perform it a little bit slower, that my mind and my speed in which I'm saying things are more connected towards each other. While if I give, if I rehearse in the speed that I am going to say it, that I'm allowed to say it. So let's say I've blocked 20 minutes and I rehearse that it's exactly 20 minutes and this happens, then I'm out. Because then my head starts racing, because you need to overcome that moment, a sound or someone is walking away and you are disturbed by that or something, or it races off your internal thought, your internal voice process, and you need to recover from it. No, I need to get back to this presentation because I need to, and then all those extra things, those extra noises, those extra internal voice blabbering that's going on, plus the fact that you rehearse it in a certain pace, and now that certain pace is not good enough anymore. You need to go faster, and that's where you stumble over words. The ums and the ahs start. The speed of talking versus the speed of your head is out of sync completely. It didn't work for me. So as soon as I started to doing Italian style rehearsing, I was able to stay in an easier pace when I was actually telling, when I was actually singing, when I was actually doing the presentation. So those are the things that I do. To recap, so you're looking for keywords per paragraph, you're looking for emotions or stories, with particular emotions per paragraph, and you're looking for structural things. Are we talking in this particular paragraph? Are we talking about, is there an opposite? Is there something that I can remember by what this paragraph is about? So that's a structural thing. Then you're looking for hooks towards the next. Like in my example, the first paragraph was about one person and the second paragraph was about multiple. Knitting, book and broom. You don't do that all at the same time. So there are more persons involved. So one versus many. So something like that will probably also be in your presentation. So you're looking for hooks towards how can I remember the next paragraph, and then the rehearsal process on itself, the wave technique is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm saying that I'm wrong. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Make yourself soundproof. Go to a noisy environment or make noise or put on music that you really like, which you normally sing along or something, or dance along. Do it while you're dancing. And then start rehearsing your presentation and Italian style. Speak fast, speak with a lot of gestures. You won't do them on stage. Trust me on that. But it's usually distracting also for you. So, which means that you can keep your focus. Those are the things that I do. I hope it's helpful. See you next time on the next video.